sure to check out Ageless Geeks for your figures and collectibles. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today in this video I'm going to try something a little bit different in 2019. I want to try to bring more like movie related stuff to my channel. I know everybody loves movies. I know collectors like myself love movies as well, because look at all the awesome comic book movies we've been getting the past 10 years. So I know you guys love movies. I love movies. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to go like over movie stuff a little bit more on my channel, like maybe some reviews. I was thinking of reviewing the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie that I did already see, and try to do like a spoiler-free review, of course, because I know most people haven't seen the movie, but decided in this video I want to do my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019. These are the movies that I really know of as of right now. A lot of them are like big blockbuster movies, which a lot of people do look forward to throughout the year. So I do have 11 movies on here. An honorable mention starting at 11 will be It Chapter 2. I really enjoyed the first one, the remake, of course. I think they did an awesome job with that movie. I loved the original 90s. I think it was like a TV miniseries. I always thought it was a movie. The 90s one with, who was it, Tim Curry, who played Pennywise. The new dude, Skarsgård, I forgot his first name, but he did great as Pennywise. I really did like that movie a lot. I remember my girlfriend was like laughing at how Pennywise moved. She thought it was funny and was laughing at it. It was funny, but it was also creepy. I thought Pennywise was so awesome in that movie. And the old It movie, the 90s one, scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid, and this one didn't really scare the shit out of me because I'm a grown adult, you know what I mean? Like, some movies really don't scare me as they used to when I was a kid. Some movies still like freak me out. Like, the most recent movie that freaked me out was probably Signs, but that's a really old, not really old, that was way over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, but that movie like freaked me out, because what if something like that really did happen? But yeah, it Chapter 2, I cannot wait for that one. They're all going to be grown up, and it's going to be the second part with Pennywise returning. So that is pretty much an honorable mention. Now, coming in at number 10 is the Hellboy reboot, I guess it is. And this is the one with, I forgot his name, David something. He's the sheriff or the cop in oh my god, why can't I? Stranger Things. He's the cop in Stranger Things. He's the one who's playing Hellboy, and he looks pretty good. I think the face, I like the Ron Perlman Hellboy face more than this one. This one, he looks more like I guess more rugged looking, you know what I mean? Like, he looks more demon-y, I guess. He looks pretty damn awesome as Hellboy, though. I definitely can't deny that. He does look awesome as Hellboy, and I think the new movie is going to be pretty badass. I feel like there's going to be more characters in it, unlike the Del Toro ones, the first and second ones. I love the first and second Hellboy. I wish they would have at least made a third one to at least complete that trilogy, you know what I mean, instead of just having two movies. Usually when you make two movies, you end up making a third one, and it's a trilogy. So it's a shame that Del Toro, the director, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the first name. I'm very horrible at pronouncing that name. Even Jimmy Kimmel's security guard, I can't pronounce the name correctly. Garrett. See, I'm not even going to try it. Del Toro, I'm just going to call him. He was busy on like Pacific Rim, and I think the movie he just won like Best Director for, Shape of Water. I did not like that movie at all. It was really boring. But yeah, that is my number 10, Hellboy. Cannot wait for that. Now, number 9 was probably a lot of people's number 1 or in their top 3, and that is Spider-Man 2, Far From Home. I did really enjoy the Tom Holland Homecoming Spider-Man. I thought it was pretty good. I feel like it didn't have as much action as like the original trilogy Spider-Man movies had, so I was a little disappointed with that, but it was a really fun movie, and Tom Holland is great as Spider-Man, and I believe he has a new red and black suit in this one, and Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Mysterio, I believe. I think he's the only villain in it, so really excited to see that one. I'm curious where Peter Parker's life is going to go in his sequel. Well, of course, after Avengers Endgame, we're going to figure out what's going on with Peter Parker. So that is Number 9, now coming in at number 8, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now this is going to be Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, I believe. Then he's going to make one more movie, and he said he's done making movies. So anything Quentin Tarantino, I always want to see it. My favorite movie by him is Reservoir Dogs. I know a lot of people's favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is Pulp Fiction, which that's classic, one of his best movies, hands down. But I think Reservoir Dogs was his best movie. That's my favorite movie by him, and ever since I seen that and Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, and so on, Kill Bill 1 and 2, I just had to see every movie that he made. I've seen everything that he's made up to now, and the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie plays Sharon Tate, and I believe this is taking place when Charles Manson had his little minions go and kill Sharon Tate and the people that were at her house that one night. So I think that's what this movie is going to evolve around. Leonardo DiCaprio plays like a failing TV actor or something like that, and I forgot who Brad Pitt plays, like what his character is, but it sounds like it's going to be an interesting movie, and anything Quentin Tarantino makes is interesting. His dialogue is fantastic. Just look at the beginning of Inglourious Bastards. That beginning scene, the dialogue just draws you into the movie, and the way Christoph Waltz acted there, and the other guy, I don't know, he's not like a big name actor, their acting was just phenomenal in that opening scene in Inglourious Bastards. So pretty much anything Quentin Tarantino does will definitely pique your interest. So that is number 8. Now coming in at number 7 is John Wick Chapter 3. I think that releases in a couple months, actually, or maybe in April. I forgot when it releases, but you gotta love John Wick. The first one was awesome, the second one was awesome. You know the third one's gonna be awesome also, and I'm curious if they're gonna end it at 3 or if they're gonna continue with Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 and all of that. I mean, you can't go wrong with the John Wick movies. They're great, fun action movies, and who doesn't love Keanu Reeves playing a badass in a movie? It all started with him pretty much in The Matrix. Of course, he does have Point Break, but he didn't really blow up, I feel like, until The Matrix. So that is number 7. Yep, now coming in at number 6 is Star Wars Episode 9. Now, I know a lot of people, including myself, was not happy with what Rian Johnson did with Episode 8. I don't know what that dude was thinking, really, man. To me, it wasn't like a Star Wars movie. There wasn't even an actual lightsaber duel. Yeah, Luke fought Kylo Ren. Technically, he didn't, because it was an astral projection version of himself, so they really didn't have a classic lightsaber battle in the damn movie. They did have that cool scene where they fought the Praetorian Guards, which was the coolest scene, I think, like fight scene in the movie, but there wasn't a lightsaber duel. It's a Star Wars movie. There's a lightsaber duel in every single one. What the hell? All right, enough of me ranting about Episode 8, but since J.J. Abrams is back at Episode 9, I'm hoping this guy can fix it. I'm pretty sure he can, because J.J. Abrams is fantastic. He really knocks it out of the park whenever he does something. Like Star Trek, I hate Star Trek, but I loved the new Star Trek movies that, well, he only did the first 2, but I loved them. The third one was really good too. So that is number 6. Now coming in at number 5 is The Irishman. And this is starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and a ton of other actors. And this is directed by one of my all-time favorites, which is Martin Scorsese. I almost love all of his movies. Some movies I didn't really care for, or I didn't see because they looked really bad. But most of Scorsese's movies are some of the best films in history. He makes some of the greatest movies. Gangs of New York, Goodfellas, The Departed. Man, why can't I think of other movies he's done? He's done a lot of awesome movies. Those are like some of the tops that I could think of off the tops of my head right now. But he makes classic movies, and this movie is going to be about supposedly how Jimmy Hoffa was killed off in the mafia, because that guy, they never solved his murder mystery or anything like that. And supposedly Robert De Niro plays the Irishman, who was Jimmy Hoffa's best friend, and supposedly he killed him. So I'm really curious to check this movie out. It releases, I think, in the beginning of this year, and it's going to release on Netflix, which I Never heard of Scorsese really throwing a movie up on Netflix, but curious to check it out. It sounds like it's going to be a really good movie, and seems like it might be another classic Scorsese movie. Coming up, oh yeah, Wolf of Wall Street's another one. All right, so coming in at number 4 is the Joker solo film. I don't know if it's called The Joker, or maybe it's called something else, but I'm really curious to see how Joaquin Phoenix does as the Joker. The face paint, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I mean, it still has a like deranged type look to it. Like it looks jokery in a way, but also doesn't. You know what I mean? Really curious to see how this is going to turn out. And I believe Todd Phillips, the director of the Hangover trilogy, is directing this movie, which I never seen him do a serious movie. Maybe I have, and I don't know that he directed it, but really curious to see how he does with this movie and how Joaquin Phoenix does as the Joker. I feel like Joaquin Phoenix is going to kill it because he is a above and beyond fantastic actor. Just watch him in Gladiator. All right, so that is number 4. Now coming in at number 3 is Godzilla, King of Monsters. I loved the newer movie that was released in 2014. It's a shame that we had to wait, what, 5 years for the damn sequel? Really? 5 years for the sequel? Come on, man. And the first Godzilla, my only problem with it is we really only got to see mainly one big monster fight. They did tease 2 of them throughout the movie, but every time they were about to fight, it went to like a view in the movie of someone watching it on a television, on the news or something like that. Like, what the hell is that all about? They better not do that bullshit in the sequel. I swear to God, they better not. There's too many classic Godzilla monsters in this. We do have King Ghidorah, we do have Rodan, and then we do have Mothra, and of course, the King of Monsters, Godzilla. So I want to see a bunch of classic Godzilla battles in this. I don't want it showing it and then going off screen and you're watching it through like a small television screen that somebody is watching in the movie. But very, very excited for the sequel. It looks fantastic. 11 from Stranger Things is in it. Billy Bobby Brown, I believe her name is, and she's a pretty good actor. All those kids from Stranger Things are good actors. So really, really excited for Godzilla, King of Monsters. So that's number 3. Now coming in at number 2 is a movie that is about to release, I believe, next Friday. Not this upcoming Friday, but next Friday, and that is Glass. I loved Unbreakable. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people really didn't care for it, and all of a sudden it got, the more years that went by, the more popular that movie gotten over the years. When it first released, people were kind of like this about it because M. Night Shyamalan's last movie was The Sixth Sense, and that movie just blew people's minds. And then when Unbreakable came out, it was another mind-blowing movie as well, but I guess a lot of people didn't take to it as much as they do now. And I mean, look how big comic book movies have gotten. So that is definitely one of my top favorite movies, Unbreakable. And then once, I remember Shyamalan was announcing his new movie Split. I'm like, oh, it looks interesting. And then it got spoiled for me. Someone told me it was in the Unbreakable universe. So, I mean, it was already out on DVD and stuff then, so I had to rent it, and I watched it right away. Split was pretty good. Definitely not on Unbreakable level, but definitely cool to see another movie that's in the same universe as Unbreakable. And Glass really looks awesome. I'm gonna have to go see it that Friday when it releases. So excited that M. Night Shyamalan decided to make like a sequel, technically, I guess, kind of sequel. Split. Now he's making a true sequel that blends the 2 movies into this movie right here. So now we're getting like an actual sequel to Unbreakable. So very excited to see that. And then number 1, most of you have probably guessed, which is probably a lot of people's number 1, and that is Avengers Endgame. Cannot wait to see this. I think we got, what, 4 months of waiting. It releases in April. Very excited for this one to release. I loved Infinity War. The ending just left you in Infinity War, left you like, what are they gonna do? You know, if you read the comics, you probably know what will happen. I kind of know what happened in the comics. I didn't read the comics. I saw a video of someone talking about what happens, but I don't think they're gonna do the same thing that they did in the comics with the movies, which I don't think they should. I don't really like what they did in the comics, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna switch up what they do in the movie for Endgame. And I just want to see what's going to happen. I'm curious as to how Thanos is going to get taken down. I'm curious as to how everybody is going to come back, because he wiped out 50% of the universe's population, not just Earth, the entire damn universe. Thanos is a messed up SOB, but he's Marvel's best villain, probably. I gotta say, that's probably Marvel's best villain, so that is definitely my #1 most anticipated figure. So that is definitely my #1 most anticipated movie of 2019. Anyway, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what your top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019 are. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later.